So there's one other interview I got while I was at Colorado. And that interview was with Justin Zoran, the president of WizKids. Now,
here's our surprise, guys.
For licensing purposes, they have to run the interview by the license holders of Star Trek. So we're not able to run the entire thing tonight. But I have been authorized to make a very awesome announcement. Especially after what happened in Colorado, a lot of people are complaining and saying, we need WizKids to update the FAQ. Where's Chris Guild? We need these rules questions resolved. I am pleased to tell you folks, Justin Zoran has informed me that very soon there will be an official WizKids rules forum where I'm not allowed to talk about the details. We will have them for you, hopefully on Saturday. We're doing our next broadcast on Saturday for scheduling reasons. And hopefully I will be able to give you all the details then. Just say, I am very excited about this, and if for those of us, including me, who feel that we have been too long without rules guidance, this dark time in the game will soon be coming to a close.
Victory, my page of 30 questions that has been waiting, 10 of them alone about Quark.
Wait. It's a page of 30 questions or 30 pages of questions?
Yes. No, I'm really excited about this. And as I said, I can't give you too many details now, but based on what Justin told me and hopefully with what I'll be able to share with you. And there's other stuff in this interview that is just as exciting to me. But that's the big news. And I really think we're really about to get some of our questions answered.
I've been trying to get a hold of them for a couple of months now just to say, hey, is there any way we can get with the page having 4,500 people now? Mm-hmm. Hey, could you hook us up with some inside info? I mean, we're talking about international distribution free of charge. They won't even say, hey, I got your message. It's just quiet. And it's a little agitating.
The answer is I was lucky enough to be at an event where Justin was present, and he was kind enough to just sit down with me for 5 minutes of my time.
Mm-hmm. And that was pretty lucky, too, because I don't think there's been any official WizKids representatives at any of the other regional events yet, have there?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, so I guess it was just random happenstance, and I'm very happy to be able to say finally, like, I've been sitting on the secret all weekend, and I'm like super excited about this. Super excited about this.
Finally got it off your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, guys, hello, surprise! We actually got some inside info. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it'll be official, like official WizKids rules form. So none of this, oh, well, the FAQ page isn't official just because Chris Guild sells so, blah, 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 BS.
Yeah. But no word on Chris Guild or the designers.
No news on them specifically, but you'll see what it says on Saturday. That's it. That's it for Chicago. I want to give a shout out to Carl and Sean Keenan and Aaron and Will, who were all really cool guys. My opponents.
And they actually got to see your face.
Yeah, they did. I did meet a little bit of the anti-Borg missile hate and the anti-Borg hate, but other than that, it was just a great event. A great event. And I am pleased as punch. I wish I could make that 600 or I should say 400-mile drive more often to come play with you guys, because it was a blast. It was an absolute blast.
400? That's not that bad.
It is when you have to do it all in one day.
Hey, I did 600 in a day.
Yes, but you did it after you played, not before.
That's a good point. Come on, Dan. Why weren't you in North Carolina? I expected to see you there, right?
What are you talking about? I live an hour away from where you played in Chicago. I could have went there.
And you
But-
didn't come to see me. I was very hurt.
Well, luckily you have family in the area, so hopefully you'll be back.
That'd be cool. But yeah, so anything else we want to go over about regionals right now? We just went through North Carolina. We just went through Colorado. We just went through our big surprise announcement from WizKids president.
Rules Forum!
At last. More random things that I can smack my opponents upside the head with that they didn't know about.
Yeah.
That happened during my regionals too. I don't remember what it was, but there was something someone didn't understand. Something basic like your double evade thing.
God.
Oh,
Don't-
someone thought you could re-roll with target lock and tactical drone.
No, don't, no. Guys, no.
Read up before you go do something major like a regional.
If you haven't
Yes,
done it
you know-
recently, make sure you read that rule book one more time just to be sure.
You know what? This will be my only commentary on the various controversies surrounding Colorado. It's a major tournament. Expect people to be playing like it's a major tournament. Know
Mhm.
your rules. That's all.
I've got a question from Robert. He's still trying to figure out the use of conditional surrender on the Colorado build. Did he ever use
Okay.
it?
Apparently it was supposed to be like anti-costs. I never really understood, or not anti-costs, anti-crosis. I never really understood how, to be honest with you.
In case they only have one Crosis to steal barrel but nothing else?
Yes, I think so.
Could be something like that. Fair
Yeah, like they have one Crosis. That must be it. Yeah, based on what Sean Carl told me. One Crosis to steal Varel, but he has other crew, so you can just do that. It doesn't work against anybody carrying Wayun and Crosis, though.
I love Wayun and Crosis. I want all of your crew. Give them to me.
That was creepy.
Slightly.
Well, every time every time I fought a Voyager, all of a sudden there were 4 new souls for the collective.
We should talk about Avatar of Telmed since it's been out for like forever.
Oh yeah, and oh man, is this thing gonna change some stuff up?
Maybe.
This is one of those things that I think you're gonna need, and I believe didn't Trek Talking go over this one already, Dan?
Yeah, but we did real basic, and in fact, I still have the original HD scans I made.
Well, that's cool. I managed to find one picture of it, and thankfully it's good enough that I can read what's going on it. So, Avatar of Tomed, guys. OP prize for Resistance 1.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I have to address one thing before we begin.
Gotcha.
The question is, a lot of people have been asking, is where the hell is the Avatar of Tolmed from? And I will tell you where the Avatar of Tolmed is from. The IRW Avatar of Tolmed is from a book written by William Shatner called The Return. Okay? And it is the sequel. It is the sequel to Star Trek Generations.
Wow, they're definitely going out the fringe canon on that stuff, huh?
Oh, wait until you hear this, because Memory Beta, good old Memory Beta, has the back cover blurb in its entirety. Okay? Listen to this.
You're gonna love this.
I'm gonna try and read this in my best Don LaFontaine, so here we go.
Oh god.
Viridian 3, a world has been saved. The USS Enterprise 1701D lies in ruins, and one of the galaxy's greatest heroes rests beneath a simple cairn of rocks on a lonely hillside. But as a legendary Vulcan ambassador comes at last to the grave of his best and dearest friend, the adventure is only beginning. The Borg and the Romulan Star Empire have joined forces against the Federation, and their ultimate weapon is none other than James T. Kirk, resurrected by alien science to destroy the Borg's most formidable enemy, Jean-Luc Picard. The astounding return of Kirk, as only William Shatner can tell it.
Are you kidding me?
This book is so
I do have to say,
bad.
though, Tucker, I do have to say, though, I think you were channeling a little bit of George Takei in there as well.
Okay, like
Oh my!
It's so bad. I've read this book. It's so bad. Like, I'm gonna spoil the ending because nobody cares. Kirk goes on. Basically, Kirk fights through the Borg collective programming. Goes on one of his typical Kirk, and here's why, humanity will always triumph speeches, then literally flips a switch, and everything's fine.
Holy crap!
This book is so bad! It's like...
Hey, it's not their fault they pulled it off one of those fan fiction sites, okay? At least it's not a slash fic.
So here's my question. Because they went so far out of the normal canon, did they have to pay more royalties?
I really hope not. I mean, like, this is... There are so many good extra canon Star Trek books. Sarek, Spock's
I read a
World,
few. Yeah.
the entire Starfleet Corps of Engineers series, for crying out loud. Why they picked this one?
So my question is this, because this is my first WizKids Star Trek game, so you guys may be more familiar. Is this ship / model from the previous game? What is that?
Yes. The Avatar of Tomed is in Wave 3 of HeroClick Tactics.
Okay. So I was wondering about that because it would give me a little bit of happiness to think, hey, they're starting to make new ships, but now you just crushed my spirit by telling me, yes, it's still a rehash.
No, it's a reused model,
A little
Sorry,
tear.
Dan.
And look, now you can see it this time.
Aw, teardrops.
Oh.
Yeah, so let's preview this. Let's preview this ridiculousness.
It's because your guys' experience is probably better than me, and just the only ones I ever read were Starfleet Academy.
Starfleet Academy was okay. I still love the Worf one. That scene where he's in the tactics class, and literally every student except him and his two friends, they have to pick a pad. So the Worf Starfleet Academy book is about how racism is bad, and everybody hates Worf because he's Klingon. He's the first Klingon Starfleet. So he shows up to class, right? And the homework is pick a battle to talk about. There are like 50 students in this class, in this college class. Literally everyone except Worf and his two friends pick a battle against Klingons. And he just gets up and leaves. And the instructor is like, Mr. Worf, I did not give you permission to go. And back at him and says, with all due respect, sir, I did not ask for it. And then he just leaves. And it's like...
Yes. Star Trek and its heavy bat of morality.
Hey, you know what? I still insist that Let That Be Your Last Battlefield is one of the best Star Trek episodes ever made.
All right.
So,
but now, Tucker, before
yes.
we get off traffic, we're not getting off topic this time.
Sorry.
This is why we can't have a short show.
But it's fun conversation.
I know. It's fun. All right. But we are on the Avatar of Tomed.
Yeah.
No Worf's in sight, sadly.
It's not like we don't have enough already.
I know,
I was
right?
gonna say, not like we're gonna have a short of the Worf scene. We got a new one. What, next month or the month after?
Yes, actually, good point.
Yeah.
Avatar of Tomed. So the named Romulan only version. Tech, 3 weapons, and 1 crew. An interesting kind of setup, I guess. 30
because
points.
what Romulans always need is more weapons.
Yes. Of course.
Unfortunately, that is true.
3, 2, 6, 4. During the roll attack die step of the combat phase, you may roll +1 attack die. If you do so, suffer 1 damage to your hull. Why would I want to do that?
I have no idea.
Considering I can now put to rule on the Valdor to get a tech slot, why would I ever run this ship? Ever!
I love Romulan ships. I love let me phrase that. I love real canon Star Trek Romulan ships. I'm so sad by how they interpret Romulan ships in this game. It really disgusts me.
This is so bad.
What's worse is I tossed money at it like it's candy. Must have Romulans. Give me crappy Romulans. I must have them.
Sound like one of the guys at my venue. Poor Romulan fanboys.
About the only good news on the horizon is somebody took a shot of the Scimitar box at one of the Comic-Cons, and it has a Romulan symbol on the front. So it's not going to be Riemann, like I secretly hoped it would be, because I thrive on the tears of Romulan players. But
I would virtually slap you for saying such things and making it Riemann, so I cannot use it as a Romulan device.
But yes, this ship, the ability might be nice with some of the torpedoes, but on a 3-attack ship, it's not going to go well. Probably why they gave this thing 3 weapon slots.
Yeah, it's got a crap ton of secondary room, and that's straight frame. That's no crew.
I suppose you could run it as a suicide ship. Throw an energy dissipate on there and attack with 4 dice and a damage. Then follow up with plasma torpedoes for 6 dice and take another damage.
yeah, I still would rather run the Valdor.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh yeah, I could work really hard to get this as good as the Valdor, or I could just run the Valdor and not hit myself in the face.
But guys, Mirok could be good on this ship.
Who the hell is Mirok?
He's the guy that repairs stuff.
Will, what do I say about having to work this hard to make something work?
Well, let's just go on to the Borg version then, shall we?
Hey, this is how you get a good Romulan ship. You assimilate it. We are the Borg. The Borg are amazing.
So, the Borg version of the Tomed is a massive 4265. By the way, are you guys hearing a bell ringing? Because if you do, try to ignore it.
Okay, it's a cat. I hear cat bells.
Let's see. It's got a Borg slot, a tech slot, 3 weapon slots, and a crew, so it adds just a Borg slot. 34 points. When you perform a cloak action, you may immediately perform a regenerate action as a free action. If you do so, you cannot attack that round.
I kind of like that.
I mean, it's nice that you get a 2-for-1,
yeah.
But how often do you ever regenerate?
You regenerate when you have a nasty critical on your hull, which is pretty common as a cloaker.
Yes. That is exactly... I agree 100% with that statement. Because of the cloaking, this gives you a way to make the cloaking not only advantageous, but not kill you at the same time.
Okay, now, here's the problem with this ship. This ship is kind of cool. I would probably rather run the generic. It only loses a weapon slot and a shield. So for 2 points cheaper, an ability that ability is just not going to be relevant too much. I'd probably at this point with advanced cloaking available, I'm almost certainly going to be cloaked even if I want to regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too worried about that. My main problem with it, and I think we're going to get to this in our next episode, is that honestly, I would just rather run the generic assimilated Burrell that comes in the next OP pack. This is expensive for 4 points of attack, and it just doesn't... I mean, at this point, for 4 more points, you could get yourself a Borg Sphere, and I'd rather have that in almost every circumstance.
Now, I haven't noticed, has the Burrell, the leaked Burrell assimilated ship been released yet? Or
Terry has done her preview on it. It dropped. It dropped, I think, yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Something
It
that we'll have to look at
is-
soon again as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it is a 4-1. Let's see, it's 24 points for the generic, so it's going to be a 4. No, sorry,
It's a 5-1-3-4.
5-1-3-3.
5-1-3-3 for the generic.
The generic is a 5-1-3-3. That's
Murder.
Borg Weapon Crew, I think.
Yep.
Maybe Borg Weapon Crew. So if my choice is between 5-1-3-3 for 24 points or 4-2-6-4 for 32 points, it's really hard for me to justify taking the Romulan.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, with that said, in Faction Pure, you can put an interface generator and a Borg Blade of hull armor on the same ship, and that's super annoying.
10 hull, negate an attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you said earlier, the named version does not mix well with advanced cloaking.
No,
It's
it doesn't.
unfortunate.
The generic one, you know.
And the generics just aren't that good.
Yeah. Well, the named one, I mean, it can take advanced cloaking. It's just the ability becomes irrelevant at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because you can never re-cloak, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good for the ships?
Yep.
All right. Let's get this one out of the way. This pack comes with your basic generic plasma torpedoes. Range 1 to 2, 5 attack.
Boo, we don't care.
Yep. Moving on, we have our captain. I have no idea how this name is pronounced, just like I didn't know if it was actually Tomed or not.
It's Tomed.
Salatrell.
Sounds right.
At the start of the game, after setup, choose a faction. For the rest of the game, during each combat phase, if a ship of that faction is in your forward firing arc, treat your captain skill as if it were a 10 until the end phase of that round. Normally, she's a 5. She costs 3 points as a Romulan upgrade. So, Ahab Romulan. Almost not quite as good as Ahab Picard.
No, I like it for Romulans. I mean, one thing we've said from the beginning is they need a high-skill captain, and this does a lot of work to get them there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd had a little more since we've looked at Ahab Picard. But for 3 points, 10 skill, basically, that's pretty good.
And the other thing is that she still always moves at 5, and then she shoots at 10. So if you have anyone in between the range of 6 to 9 of the faction you are hating on, then she moves first and shoots first, which is a pretty nice advantage because she'll very rarely get blocked of her actions by moving poorly, and she'll still get to fire first.
Mm-hmm. She's also a 3. Carl is messaging me on Facebook, and he's pointing out she's a 3-point talent holder for free talents from Fleet Captain, which is cool. The captain skill bonus will make her even harder to go first. Before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Treat your
also,
captain skill as if it were 10. See, the only problem is, I think that her ruling would fall under the same one as Gen Con, that any bonuses don't apply when she changes her skill.
Oh, that's stupid. Oh well. Well, hey, free talent. Also, if
so
you're
she'd
curious,
be a 6 normally, but she'd still be a 10 using her ability, regardless of what bonuses she has.
If you're curious, I'm going to read 2 sentences that are just terrible from Memory Beta about Salatrell. After Kirk's return from the dead, she would employ deception to convince Kirk that he was a loyal Romulan citizen whose wife and children were massacred by Starfleet Captain Jean-Luc Picard. She would also attempt to seduce him in order to convince him of this role. Oh, and she's also the granddaughter of the Romulan commander from Balance of Terror, who we know as 7 captain skill, 2 talents.
Who also gets to shoot first.
Yeah. So that maybe is why this entire pack is from stupid canon. Let's move on.
All right. Well, she's a 3-point talent holder, so let's take a look at her talent. This is going to be the fun one that everyone's going to need. On the bright side, it makes every faction playable, all right? We have the Borg Alliance. Add 1 Borg upgrade slot to your upgrade bar. At the start of the game, place 4 drone tokens on your captain card. This upgrade may only be purchased for a non-Borg ship with a non-Borg captain. Drone tokens.
So here's the really funny thing, okay? I'm gonna pull up. Well, you guys talk about how you think about this card in general, and then I will pull up something funny.
A Borg slot on anything means that I can have a science vessel with assimilation tubules.
That's what Will wants in life.
That's all I've ever really wanted. I just want to assimilate you from the tiny, tiny little economy ship size. I want economy assimilation, and the Borg Scout didn't do it for me.
Aw, poor Will.
I
You need a
know.
hug.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. You know, that generic assimilated Burrell is 24 points and has a Borg slot, and no text limiting it.
We're getting there. It didn't exist before yesterday. But yeah, I don't know. Dan, what would you use with this? I'm sure there's plenty of things we could all think of.
Yeah, there's tons of things we could think of. I mean, if you don't do faction pure, whether you're playing at home or your OP event, or your OP TO doesn't require faction pure, this thing here can basically pretty much turn any ship in that you want into a Borg nightmare. I mean, you're talking, off the top of my head, I can think about 5 or 6 cards that you could use that turns. Well, let's put it this way. Let's put it on the Voyager. Let's link it up with the Voyager, because I like everybody else, but I'm more familiar with the Federation. Having this ability, if you can go non-pure, put this on the already ridiculously tough Voyager, and you just, yeah.
It can finally get access to the good ablative hull armor.
Yeah.
And they can also, ablative hull armor can go on every cloaker in the game now.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So let me talk about what's funny for this, okay? I'm going to read some extracts from the Resistance is Futile OP2 rules. Non-Borg cards. Every card that is not of the Borg faction, i.e. does not have a Borg faction symbol on its card, is considered a non-Borg card.
Oh, I know where you're going
All
with
ships in both fleets that are not of the Borg faction are considered to be non-Borg ships. Under Rebel Fleet, every Borg ship that is in the Rebel Fleet cannot use any action or text ability on its ship card or any card assigned to it that requires drone tokens to be spent in order to use it. If a Borg captain is assigned to a ship in the Rebel Fleet, that captain does not place any drone tokens on its captain card, etc. This is a way to let you use Borg upgrades that require you to spend drone tokens in your Rebel Fleet.
But you can't take any of those in your Rebel Fleet to begin with.
Oh, yes, you can.
Can you?
Every Borg ship that is in the Rebel Fleet cannot use any action or text ability on its ship card or any card assigned to it that requires drone tokens to be spent in order to use it. That is the only restriction on such upgrades.
So putting this, because it's a Romulan card, not a Borg card,
Correct.
it would not apply.
That's correct. And here's the best part. The restriction is on Borg ships. So, if you assign this card to, say, Voyager, and you put, I don't know, Janeway on it.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I've got to read this myself.
You can assign assimilation tubules to Voyager. It's not a Borg ship. That restriction doesn't apply. Janeway isn't a Borg captain. That restriction doesn't apply. You're good to go, son.
So all the cards they're trying to not allow you to use are gotten around with this.
Yes.
Wow. Thumbs up, whiz kids.
Here's the best part, by the way.
You can do it on Borg ships.
There's no restrictions. There's no restrictions on cards. Okay? There are no restrictions on cards that allow you to regain drone tokens. We're all the Borg. The Borg are amazing.
Have we mentioned the part where in the Rebel fleet every Borg ship is now independent and thus no longer Borg?
Yeah. Okay. So no. So the way I read that is, you have to read it as that restriction that says cannot use any action or text ability that requires drone tokens to be spent still applies to Borg ships even though they're now independent. Because otherwise, if you think of it as flickering back and forth, it would simultaneously be allowed to and not allowed to use the actions always. So.
Gotcha. And was this from the recently clarified version of it as well? Because I know WizKids did a clarification on the rules.
Oh, let me see about that.
I'll let you check that out. And
I'll take a look.
While you do that, we will move on to something else, as we've been enjoying this ship a little too much so far.
All right, let's see. Here we go. For the Rebel fleet, Borg faction ships cannot use any ability any action or ability that uses drone tokens. Borg captains in the Rebel fleet do not use drone tokens. That's the clarification. So the clarification explicitly says Borg faction ships and Borg faction captains.
Interesting.
So this still works.
And here I was just going to think of, well, maybe you could put this on a Borg ship and just have your 3 ablative hull armors.
Yeah, I mean, that would work too. No. Oh yeah, because they're independent now. There you go.
Yep.
And put them on TAC Cube 138. They all cost 7 points.
Yep. How would you, Dan? How do you feel about a 19 hull? Wait, what is it? 9? A 21 hull tactical cube.
Sorry, did you say 21? I think you haven't. I think you forgot to put your flagship on there, Will.
22.
Wait,
should I add the? Can I add that Federation hull plating that was really bad from the Raven?
Yes.
Or is that one of those Federation only things?
No, it's plus 5 points for any ship that's not 3. This is so stupid.
Or the energized hull plating from the NX.
No, that's Fed only.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to steal it somehow.
Quark.
Yeah. There you go. I got
Quark
one
will
of him.
bring it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if I was facing a 22-point hull cube, I would probably throw my cards at the guy and call him a nice person.
Here's the best part. So the flagship that gives you attack, hull, and shields. Guess which action it puts on your action bar, you guys?
Attack, hull, and shields. It gives you an evade.
Evade!
Because we need evades on top of 22 hull.
Never take any damage ever.
Okay, we're going to pretend that this copy of the rulebook in my hands is the table. Flip!
21. Hey. Well, I've got news for you. You can't fit reinforced structural integrity and the flagship and the 3 things and Borg Alliance. But yeah, this is...
Darn!
This is pretty dumb.
I'm sure there's other Borg things we're going to be doing this with. I mean, this makes dispersion field costs available on any ship.
I'm so happy I have one of these.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb.
Let's move on to Hive Mind, shall we?
Oh yeah, Hive Minds.
All right. So this is the Borg upgrade that comes with the Tomed. Action disable. It's a 1-point Borg upgrade. At last, we have something that can fill that 1-point gap. Action disable this card and any number of your other upgrades. Add 1 drone token to your captain card for each card you disabled with this action, including this card. You cannot exceed your captain starting number of drone tokens. You cannot deploy more than 1 Hive Mind upgrade to your ship, or to any ship.
So, you know how Borg Alliance, blah, 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 this will let you get drone tokens back in Resistance is Futile on independent, quote-unquote, Borg ships.
Mm-hmm. Well, along with all the other ones that gave you back drone tokens anyway. I mean, it didn't say it negated those abilities.
That's true, I guess. I'd just rather run this than Borg Alcove all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. You could always
Yeah.
you could always throw. I don't know why you would need more Borg drone tokens though if this is your only Borg upgrade.
Yeah. All right, I guess
Unless
that's
you're
true.
trying to run like Resistance is futile and We Are the Borg talents. Those are the only things I can think of that actually make you spend drone tokens.
Assimilated access codes and what's the one that's like distraction or diversion or whatever it is?
I don't think that takes drone token. I think drone token might be a alternate cost for it.
Yeah, but your other choice is discarding crew, and I'd rather disable crew than discard them. Diversionary tactics, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have to target one of your. You have to discard one of your crew upgrades either way. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's Resistance is futile. We Are the Borg. Assimilated access codes. Experimental week. Experimental link is the other one. That's the one where you can do drone tokens or crew.
Might work with that if you
Oh,
if
you know what?
you're going through that much trouble to get that many talents to use.
That's
And-
also disable though. So it's discard. You spend 3 drone tokens or disable up to 3 of your crew. So that ends up being 6 in one, half a dozen the other.
Yeah, I don't see Hive Mind getting much. Well, I don't see Hive Mind and Borg Alliance being used much together. It's just
That's true. Okay, fair enough. It's good in general, though. Speaking as somebody who just played a shit ton of Borg, pardon my language, sorry, a metric ton of Borg that's spending their drone tokens all the time. I mean, this is nice to get rerolls, to take off Aux tokens.
could do wonders in a disable focus build with like Phlox or the Doctor.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Riker the Doctor is what I would do with this.
Mhm.
Or even just the Doctor, really. Well, no, you could do it every turn with both of them, and then, yeah, you could do cool stuff with that.
Yeah. But after that, we've got one last card on this one, and that is our Romulan Borg crewman named Vox. 4 points, both Romulan and Borg faction. After rolling your dice for any reason, you may discard this card to reroll one of those dice. Or, after rolling your dice for any reason, you may disable this card and spend 2 of your drone tokens to reroll one of those dice.
So, how do you feel about rerolling Borg Shield Matrix dice?
Any dice, any reason.
Yeah,
How do you feel about rerolling a Warp Core Breach?
really good. Well, if you're playing Borg, you should never have to deal with a Warp Core Breach at all. You'll have one turn where you'll have a 1 in 8 chance of dying. But since he's basically an all-star anyway, I would bring him.
Vic Fontaine. Make
What
sure.
are some other good dice to reroll? Meteor Shower. Can you reroll Meteor Shower dice?
No, it has to be your ship rolling it. I would say no for the same reason that you can't reroll the dice of a minefield that just hit you. Or reroll the dice of a obstacle you just hit.
Okay, that's fair. All right, no. Well, after rolling your dice,
You could
For
use
any
this.
reason.
You could use this on I Stab at Thee.
here's the question.
Here's the answer.
Let me look at something. I want to compare and contrast to Cisco.
I was gonna say this sounds a lot like exactly like Cisco's ability.
But see, here's the thing. Cisco's ability is phrased differently. Once per round, you may re-roll any one of your attack or defense dice. After rolling your dice. Is that different than after you roll your dice?
Say it again one more time.
Is after rolling your dice different than after you roll your dice?
I'm going to say
the
for
thing
most
is,
intents and purposes, probably not. I can't think of any card that would fall under one and not fall under the other.
Well, I'm thinking of things like mines or meteor showers or stuff like that.
Gotcha. So
I mean,
neutral effects that you're rolling against your own ship.
Yeah, or something like that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think the reason your dice is in there is so that you can't mess with your opponent. But when we get that rules forum, that's something I'm going to ask about.
Yay!
So nice to be able to say that. So nice to be able to say that. So is that all that comes on this guy?
That was our last guy.
Yep.
It's a pretty light pack.
Oh,
Well,
one
and
last thing
it's
about
an
him. It
OP.
is nice that we do actually have something that spends drone tokens that's not a Borg or a talent upgrade. He's the first one so far.
It's correct, yeah. He's crew. He spends drone tokens.
I mean, the other one really is like 4 of 12, but I don't think he really counts.
Nobody cares about 4 of 12.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Math Guy says, Borg crew slots are very valuable. The fact that he's a one-shot limits his usefulness. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
He's not a one-shot if you spend drone tokens. He's disable.
He's a disable, yeah.
If you spend 2 drone tokens for 1 dice.
How do you feel about how do you feel about warp core breaches? Blah 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 blah. I mean,
Yeah.
look, the more effects in this game that require you to roll dice outside of the modify attack dice step and modified defense dice step, the better this guy's going to get. And already we have a couple of powerful ones of those: Vic Fontaine, Kira, Stax. Who else? I don't know.
I'm sure there's more that we can't think of right now, but yeah.
I like it. Look, I like him for rerolling Borg Shield Matrix.
You could use him to reroll all of the criticals that can be repaired. Not that you would be having to do that on a Borg ship because you just regenerate anyway, but for his Romulan side or for play in any non-Borg fleet if those still exist.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's not tier 1. Obviously, I completely agree with that. But I'm not ready to consign him to the scrap heap just yet.
Yeah, there's a reason he came with Borg Alliance.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for the Avatar of Tomed. Anything else before we close this one out?
Thank you, William Shatner.
Official actor fan fiction.
God, it was so bad. It was sad.
All right, guys. Oh, that's gonna be it for our topics there. Let's see. News for the last couple weeks. There's only one regional left. That's going to be the one in Rochester. I believe that's next weekend. We'll see how we'll be watching, seeing how that goes. Robert, yes, it was great meeting you at North Carolina as well. It was a great match over there. Big shout outs to everyone who was at both the Colorado and North Carolina regionals. I hear they were very fun events. And you guys treated Tucker nice, even though I know he can be a pain sometimes.
Yeah, I did have a great time there. Though I do want to point out at this point, pending the result of Rochester, for every single regionals at this point, with the exception of Texas, which everybody in the world is willing to admit at this point had a very underdeveloped meta, every single regionals has been won by a Way and Vero build.
Yep, this one was the only one that wasn't the big Voyager evading flagship thing.
Yeah, Super Voyager and
at Texas,
Voyager.
yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Other news. Terry, of course, just released, what's it called? The next prize ship expansion. I mean, definitely always go check her out when you have the chance. She's a fun person and gets all the cool stuff from WizKids first.
Rules Forum!
If any of you are watching some of the other WizKids products, you'll know that some of their other products, like the D&D Attack Wing series, has been delayed an extra week. Something about shipping problems in LA.
Keep going. There's news about that, but keep going.
Okay. And what else is there to say? No new episode next Tuesday. That is going to be our monthly night at my venue, which I am now TO of for Resistance OP1. We're finally getting around to. So to make up for it, we will be having a new episode on this Saturday. So for anyone who isn't able to make Tuesdays or stuff like that, I'm going to say that this episode is for you guys. I was thinking of you guys. It's totally not because I can't make the Tuesday one, and I really want to do an extra episode. But yes, in that one, I'm not sure what we're talking about yet. I'll probably be talking about the second place bill I faced at North Carolina. And if I can steal Robert to talk about it a little bit, I might see if I can do that. Robert, talk to me after the show. But other than that, Dan, Tucker, anything you guys can think of that I missed for up-and-coming news in the last week or two?
Yes. There is. So there was some news on the D&D Attack Wing side that's relevant to Attack Wing, or Star Trek Attack Wing, which is the WizKids has partnered with Perfect World Entertainment, who make the Neverwinter MMO, to release promotional figures based on the MMO. Okay, why do we care? Because Perfect World Entertainment also makes Star Trek Online.
Yep.
Oh.
Totally. I thought about that too. Glad you brought it up.
So this could spell good things for some of the Star Trek Online ships to be appearing in Attack Wing sometime in the future, perhaps.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would actually add Romulan things for Romulans.
Yeah, they need them. Didn't they come out with some? Oh yeah, Chang's Bird of Prey came out. You'll probably talk about that in the future.
Yeah, we're waiting to get all of the preview cards on that. We're missing the Admiral, which is really going to decide how much of a must-have this pack is.
Yeah, I kind of read it. I wasn't exactly sure if they were trying to say that that Gorkon was going to be an Admiral, or if they were saying Gorkon from the previous release. Because isn't there a Gorkon already in the...
Yeah, there is, and he's terrible.
Yeah. But it was kind of vague whether he was going to be an Admiral, or if they were saying using Gorkon on the ship with Chang. But I thought Gorkon was a captain too. So they must be...
It says defensive manipulations increase when Gorkon is used as your fleet's admiral as well. So he's a capital A admiral. So
we're going to be doing the same thing we did for the last wave of ships. Is we'll wait till we actually have confirmation of all the cards before we go over and review them.
Yeah.
Yeah. After, by the way, just so everybody knows, Matthew Doherty from Enterprise E. That increases defensive manipulations, and it's terrible. So this says nothing about the potential quality.
But we can hope. Klingons need something.
Yeah.
I'm just happy Klingons are going to have an Admiral, finally.
Yeah. Oh, one more shout-out. Thank you to my girlfriend who called me in between rounds at Colorado to sing me the Klingon battle music because she thought it would be inspiring, and she was right.
Wait, did someone say Klingon battle music?
Oh,
no!
I'm just joking. I don't have that one ready.
Oh. I love my boy, but sometimes.
For those of you who don't understand, definitely you guys, check out Dan, check out Trek Talking on Thursday nights at 6:30 Eastern. Those guys have a lot of fun, and you will hear the Klingon battle theme at least once, maybe 17 times.
No, hey, I don't control that. Just for everybody watching, my hands up on that one.
Who's that? Jim? Ken? I don't remember.
It's Jim. Jim loves that thing like it's a child of his. He's probably gonna yell at me later for that, but oh well. It's not the first time I got yelled at.
All right, guys. So, anything else you guys want to close this out with, Tucker? Getting any events in this weekend or anytime in the near future?
No. Without going into the controversy surrounding it, guys, please be respectful of each other. Before you start mudslinging, maybe think and ask yourself, did this person do this in good faith? Was this person trying to be a sportsman as he understood the rules? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Be nice to each other, guys. We've got we got enough problems in the world without getting too messed up in our games.
Yeah.
Dan, what about you? What's going on? Anything good happening for you in the next week or so?
I go on right now. I'm supposed to be going on Friday evening for one of our local, uh, our OP1 for Resistance is Futile. So I'll be blowing up your Facebook to get suggestions because, like I said, you're way better at this than I am. Regional champ twice. So and
Two-time
then I
regional
believe,
champion, only one in the world.
and on the 1st of November, which is a little farther than next week, because this is probably a 1 or 2 spot. You probably won't want me back anymore because I didn't have much to say. But believe it or not, I'm playing at a place on the 1st that's actually doing last month's OP. But they're a pretty good, cool group of people, so see how that goes.
Indeed. So, yeah, guys. Next show Saturday. We don't have a time yet. Expect maybe 8:30, but if you want to keep a close eye on the time, make sure you go like us at facebook.com/State of the Federation. I'll keep you guys up to date with all of the stuff that we're doing, including all of our newest and most recent broadcasts when they go up, when they come up on whatever, Feedburner or YouTube and all that good stuff. Keep an eye out. I will have that. Again, I will have the, what was it? The North Carolina final match with some commentary hopefully up later this week. And also on Saturday, we will hopefully have that full interview that Tucker had with I forgot his name.
Justin Zoran. Yeah.
Justin Zoran.
That's the hope. There's some other cool stuff in that interview that I haven't talked about because, frankly, I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. So.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. But yes, it's cool stuff, guys. So that's going to do it for our show tonight. We did go a little bit over, but hey, we had so much cool stuff to talk about. You guys don't mind, right? And I didn't play any Klingon battle music, so.
Murk me, murk me, murk me.
Silence him.
Silence! All right, guys. Thank you once again for joining us. Thanks to everyone who participated in the regional events. Hope to see you guys in the Star Trek Attack Wing community on Facebook or even on Board Game Geek. Me, Dan, and Tucker, we're all over the place. Do not tell me he just got that music set up.
No, that was me moving a table.
Okay, good. I was afraid you were going to start the music, and then we would have had words, you and I.
I don't actually know how to broadcast sounds over this podcast, and you don't know how lucky you are that is true.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you once again, everyone, for watching. Hope our discussions have been valuable to you in some way, shape, or form. And until next time you're playing Star Trek Attack Wing, may Q be generous with your dice. Have a good night, everybody.